Securities, and let's play ball!
My name is Mikhail Abdullah. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Securities. I recently moved to Japan from Hong Kong with my family. So Securities is a private social network and global trading platform for individual investors. And I'll tell you what that means in just a moment. But let me take a step back and tell you a little bit about the business. We have offices in Hong Kong and Japan with a view to enter into mainland China at the end of the year. We originally came from E-Trade. E-Trade was a pioneer of online trading in the US. And we were there for a long time, 12 years. And we had some successes, we had some failures. But what we left with was an education on how to grow a global consumer business. We managed E-Trade's business outside of the US, and at the peak it was 15 geographies. So there were a lot of lessons learned. The team is very global, very diverse, and that's important to us because we have ambition to become a global business. Let me talk to you about how we got to the idea. So first, an insight. Investing is an inherently social activity. And in Asia, people value decision support. They value decision support in ideas in a way that we don't see in the United States. Americans are very self-directed, happy to do their own research, happy to place their own trade. It's very different in Asia, and I think that's true of our customers in Greater China and in Japan. The problem, however, is that investors have no way to exchange validated and transparent information. In the past, if you wanted to connect with investors, you could do it at a coffee shop, you could do it on a bulletin board. The problem is the information was declarative. Someone says, I bought Apple at 5 and I sold it at 400. The problem is, you're either speaking to a genius, a liar, or an 8-year-old. The problem is, you don't know which one. So we look to solve that problem by building a transparent network. A social network where investors can exchange ideas with full transparency and trade. The way to look at it is we are a digital trading floor for private investors. Customers have a fully personalized dashboard where they can take total control, simple or as complex as they want it to be. You can track the activity of the community's most active buys and sells, top stocks, trending topics, you name it. But where it really gets interesting and where we're going is personalized notifications. Giving the customer the ability to set notifications across any data point, be it people, market data, location, or time. So for example, I set a notification. Tell me when 100 members of my community have placed a buy order on Amazon. Notification, I'll place a trade. I want to know in China today in real time, what's the most actively traded stock? Sina. Or someone I'm following in the community, Trading India just sold 50% of her Nike position. I get a notification. To put our mouth where what I'm speaking about and sort of really prove that this is important to us, today we just launched a beta from our Japan website to completely publish our own information. So you can go there and you can see the most actively traded stocks, momentum, buy-sell orders, even our average order execution speed. So we're bringing a level of transparency that I don't think anyone has ever done before. But I want to talk about Japan and the next big idea. Japan has $17 trillion in investable assets. And there's going to be an enormous generational shift of those assets. The problem is, financial institutions in Japan are talking to your parents and not you. And you have dreams, you know you need to invest in order to meet your goals. I think that's something that probably resonates with everybody in this audience. And I would also assume everyone in this audience at least likes the idea of having a global portfolio. But you don't have the time and you don't have the expertise to do it yourself. And the only alternative now is perhaps a financial advisor, an asset manager. The problem is it's not accessible to most people. It's very expensive, it's exclusive, and it hasn't evolved to meet your mobile lifestyle. It's still a very traditional business and just may not suit this generation. So we have a solution and we call it the auto portfolio. What we do is build you a global portfolio, fully diversified across equities, bonds, fixed income, so asset class, geography, sector, a fully diversified portfolio of exchange-traded funds. And let me show you how it works. It's really simple. 1, you answer 8 questions online to assess your risk tolerance and time horizon. 2, you review the suggested portfolio that meets your goals. 3, you input how much you want to invest in that portfolio. And going forward, you can monitor that portfolio on any device, anytime. So let me show you what it looks like. Here we're just answering a few questions so we can assess your time horizon, risk tolerance. Now you review your portfolio, enter the amount you want to invest, and we take care of the rest. And if you're not ready to buy a portfolio, no problem. You can demo the product. We will even email you your personalized portfolio. You can take as long as you need, and we'll wait for you. We partnered with Morningstar in the US, who has over 30 years of asset management experience, and they help us optimize the portfolio. So your portfolio will be rebalanced and optimized based on changing economic conditions. And again, you can view it on any time, on any device. I think most important of all to most people is cost. And we believe we can do it approximately 80% cheaper than the average advisor in Japan. So to give you a sense of price, if you have a $10,000 US portfolio, your expense to H Securities would be approximately 500 yen a month. And we want to make it accessible to everyone. That's our mission. We want to democratize this. Everyone should be able to own a portfolio. So talking about technology, building financial technology is hard. Building consumer financial technology is very hard. Building consumer financial technology in Japan is very, very hard. But we do build our own products. We build and design our own products. But we do have strong technology behind us. We utilize HTML and adaptive design. We develop on Microsoft's platform. We deploy our platform through Amazon Web Services, which gives us an ability to scale up when market volumes are high, and just as important, to scale down when markets are closed. And we run all our data analytics on Splunk, and it is a lot of data. The business model, let me start with the thesis. Social transactions drive ideas, ideas drive trades, trades drive revenue. We have a global platform, multi-market, multi-currency, multilingual, multi-regulatory, that allows us to enter new markets relatively easily. We believe in ubiquitous distribution, meaning you should be able to access our products and services on any device, any time. We have very scalable technology that we believe can run 10 times lower than most traditional competitors who are still running on traditional data centers and old technology. And we have 4 high-margin revenue streams. We have $280 million in customer assets today. And I wanted to end on one note. Industries have been turned upside down by the internet. Retail, travel, media, telecom. But what about finance? What about consumer finance? Who's challenging that industry? That's really what we want to do. We've just closed $9 million in our Series B round, and we're looking to raise an additional 3. We have investors in Hong Kong, China, Europe, the United States, and we're looking for an investor in Japan. Thank you very much. Please follow us on TechList. We keep it updated all the time. Thank you.
多いので、アリーナの間はちょっと英語で MC をさせていただきますけれども、Ladies and gentlemen, it is always tough to be the very first pitcher, regardless of what content you're talking about. So, can we give another warm applause to 8 Securities once again? Thank you very much for being number 1. Okay, now we'd like to head to the judges and hear what they think. Please.
Fair enough. Thanks for your presentation. Quick question: why retail in Japan? There have been a lot of people who've gone home with their tail between the legs in retail, and particularly retail securities business in Japan. What is it from an acquisition perspective where you think you can scale the business here?
Well, every venture comes with risk. And the risk that we're taking, and really where we have conviction, is that we can win with new products. We're not entering Japan with a Me Too product. We're not entering Japan as just another online broker. We're not entering Japan to compete on price. We're entering Japan with 2 totally new concepts that scale all the way from active traders to more conservative buy and hold investors. So we feel strongly that those products can serve a need here.
Thanks for the pitch. One comment, you should tell a story instead of explaining about features, right? Especially the slides you had with business models. Those were all bullet points on features. A business model is supposed to explain how you make money and how that is sustainable. So can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So looking at the business model from very simple terms of revenue and cost. We compete with low-cost technology. We deploy it through the cloud, run our own development, use an agile framework. We do it very cheaply, but it's extremely robust. So with respect to cost, we compete because we're not running traditional data centers, old technology like our competitors. They have high fixed costs. Whether the market goes up or it goes down, they're running the same fixed cost. We don't do that. When the market goes up, we can scale up. When the market goes down or at night, we shut our servers down. So we're not bleeding that money on a fixed basis. With respect to revenue, we have 4 revenue streams. Trading, which is trades that drive commission revenue. We earn foreign exchange when people trade their, for example, their Hong Kong dollar to US dollar to trade an international market. We earn interest on our customer cash. And finally, which is the new revenue stream, is the AUM fee on the new auto portfolio service. And all of those revenue streams are very high margin. So you take the high margin revenue against the low cost base, that's our business model.
Actually, could you tell me a little bit about your target user, like maybe age or target asset, how much assets they have, and also what currently they are using, what's the key driver that you are switching the target user from, whatever service that they are currently using?
Okay. So our target demographic is actually rather young. We're not delusional. We don't think we're going to convert 55 and 60-year-olds or retirees from their existing brokerage account at SBI or somewhere else. We're targeting a younger demographic. We're targeting you. We're targeting professionals, 25 to 45 typically. When a customer opens an account with us, the average account size is about $40,000 US, of which 25,000 is held in cash, and they typically invest the rest. I think the unique selling point for us, and time will tell because we're very new in Japan, is going to be the ability to draw people with social. And it's not social for the sake of social. It's a new form of content. We believe the old way of trading stocks with news, research, pulling a quote, that's what our competitors do. We do that as well. But what's more interesting is real data that's real time. So at any given time, I want to know 2 hours ago how many people bought Apple and at what price, because I'm thinking about placing a trade, I can query that. That's really the direction we're going. Very, very different.
2 questions. There are so many, I think there are so many competitors in Japan and also worldwide. So could you tell me about your competitive advantage in more details? And the second question is, what countries' stocks do you support to trade? How about Japanese stocks?
Sure. So first, with respect to competition, it is true. There is a lot of competition, and there's a lot of competition everywhere we are. There's a lot of competition in Hong Kong. There's certainly a lot of competition in Japan. Our strategy has to be that we're different. That we're different and we bring something very unique to the table. We also have an advantage, we believe, of being a global business. It's easy to say, oh, we're a global business, but it's not easy. We have a global management team. We have a diverse team. I'm proud to say that half the employees at Securities are women, which is very unique in our industry. We do things differently, and we have a view that we can build a global business. We did it before at E-Trade. We took a loss-making business eventually to just under $1 billion exit, which was a trade sale. So we really learned a lot of lessons. So global and the uniqueness of the products. With respect to the market we offer now, we offer Hong Kong and China shares, US shares. That's about 15,000 equities and exchange-traded funds. We're absolutely going to start offering Japan equities soon. But our wedge into Japan is to be the best at foreign equity trading.
So you mentioned that you have $280 million of assets under management, or like, give us a breakdown of users, and when did you start the service? How fast are you growing?
Yeah. So the assets under management is one metric that we use in the industry. We have today 50,000 brokerage customers, of which typically 20,000 are active. That means that they're in and out of markets, holding assets and participating. We launched the business in 2012. I think that, our view is to really propel and accelerate the business. We couldn't be only a Hong Kong business. Hong Kong's a relatively small market, 1 million investors. You compare that to 16 million in Japan. We needed more scope to grow. We were outgrowing Hong Kong, and that really propelled us to Japan. So again, ventures are risky, but we have conviction and we think we can do it.
All right, thank you very much. That'll be time's up for number 1 Securities. And now we would like to thank you very much. Now we would like to move on to the second victim. We all got your back. We all want to support you. We all wish you do your best. And now the second pitch will be